Hey, what is up, guys? Woo here, back with a brand new video, and today we're going to be talking about My Hero Academia Chapter 306. I know I haven't uploaded in a while, but I have to come back for this chapter because this chapter is insane. This basically changes My Hero Academia's trajectory of like where the series has been kind of for a while now. Now, the war arc did a lot, right? So the past arc, because this chapter is the start of a new arc, or it's an epilogue to the last arc. So yeah, we basically in the last arc got a lot of information on One for All, like a ton of information. Deku potentially being the last user of One for All because quirkless users or people who are quirkless is becoming a smaller and smaller statistic, all that kind of stuff. So I want to just get to the meat and potatoes of this chapter. If you hear clicking, it's because I'm skimming through the chapter one more time just to make sure I'm remembering what's going on in the chapter beat by beat. So basically, the start of the chapter picks up around where we left off last chapter, except for it's from the outside point of view. So instead of Deku's Vestige World Dream, it's just All Might basically knowing that there's a conversation going on, but he can't exactly tap into the conversation because he already gave away One for All to Deku. That's my opinion. But with his very tiny embers of One for All, he can feel that something's going on. That's my opinion on that. But big revelation, Hawks and Best Jeanist now know about One for All and All for One. That's huge. So more people now know. I think the people who know at the point of this chapter is going to be All Might, Gran Torino, obviously Best Jeanist, Hawks, and then we also have Principal Nezu, Detective Tsukaichi, Recovery Girl, Night Eye, but Night Eye's dead, so I don't really know if that counts. But yeah, so it's about 8 people roughly. So yeah. Then, Nezu, Principal Nezu starts coming up with a plan that he gets the government's approval of and stuff like that. So then we go to a press conference between the top 3 heroes, being Endeavor, Hawks, Machinist. TLDR, Endeavor says, hey, yo, what you heard was true. I'm not going to try to hide it. I ain't going to lie to you. Hawks also says, like, I didn't actually kill Best Jeanist, but my dad was a criminal, and I did kill twice. They don't ask really for like forgiveness per se. They just want, they say they're sorry, but they don't expect forgiveness. Basically, they know that they're gonna have to earn the people's respect back. And one of the people there at the press conference starts getting a little upset because their mother was hurt during Machia's rampage, Gigantomachia, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I call him Machia. Anyway. So, yeah, that happens, which is insane. And then Endeavor also announces that all the hero schools in Japan are going to become like shelters for the civilians. That way, next time when these type of things happen, they're more protected, and they can protect smaller areas of Japan rather than having to worry about the entirety of Japan. So, people being moved to these smaller locations makes it easier to know where the people are to protect the people. We see Inko Midoriya, Deku's mom, and we see Mitsuki Bakugo's mom, and they're going to the campus and whatnot. And then yeah, all the pro heroes that are still willing to fight, you see in a certain panel. So you see Aizawa with an eye patch, meaning Shigaraki probably ripped out one of his eyes. You see Kamui Woods growing back. You can see leaves as his hair and whatnot. You see Mirko putting something on her arm, might be prosthetics. Watching the newscast, he looks pretty beat up though because he has been out there trying to protect people. And you see Mount Lady holding her ripped up mask. Dabi's like, oh my god, I can't believe it. I thought I ruined Endeavor, but I didn't. And then we cut to UA High, or UA Alliance, whatever you want to call it. And Deku had left notes for every single person in Class 1A. And the notes basically say that he had left UA High. He dropped out of UA High. He dropped out because of Shigaraki going after him. Because remember, Deku and All for One, like One for All and All for One had this weird connection. So Shigaraki can track Deku. So he leaves to keep everybody safe. Kind of going against Bakugo's wishes because remember, Bakugo was like, you can't save everybody on your own. You have to rely on others for help too. It can't just all be you. So that's cool. And Ochiko calls him a dummy. And then the final page of the chapter called the final, and then it shows the chapter reveal, which is the final act begins. It shows Deku with a really beat up costume, because this is, I'm assuming, his costume from the war arc. He hasn't, obviously had time to fix his costume because of everything going on. He's wearing his costume beta gloves. He's wearing some bandages around his arms, and I'll go into why I think he has those bandages in a bit. Editing woo coming in real quick. So I didn't explain why I think Deku has those wraps around his arms, so I'm just going to quickly explain that for y'all. In my personal opinion, I think it's because his arms were really messed up after the war arc. You guys saw him using like 100% multiple times. So there are bandages around his arms, and I think one of two things is going to happen. Maybe that's Full Gauntlet, because it does kind of have a similar design to Full Gauntlet. If you guys don't know, Full Gauntlet is what he used in Two Heroes, the first My Hero Academia movie with Malicious Shield. That thing that allowed him to use 100% like 3 times before breaking. So it's either that, or it's just obviously to help him not feel as much damage, or to protect his arms since they're really beat up. And he might use Black Whip as well to like brace him, like as an extra layer to protect his arm, kind of like what he did in that war arc. So yeah, that's why I think he has those bandages around his arms. Back to video woo. But yeah, and then the chapter ends with Deku saying a giant villain, which is a parallel to the first chapter, because in the first few pages of My Hero Academia, Deku excitingly says a giant villain, but now he looks depressed saying it. So, and that was the end of the chapter. Overall, this is my favorite chapter of My Hero Academia, I think. And like, this is like really good. Before I was thinking the last chapter was, but this chapter, in my opinion, is a really good chapter. I really like the cliffhanger for this chapter, which is Deku leaving UA High. And this is called The Final Act Begins, because I think we're in the end game now. We're in the final part of My Hero Academia. It's ending soon, basically. I personally think it's ending soon. There's like maybe in like a few years, but we're definitely in like the third act of My Hero Academia, if you want to consider it like a very long movie, right? So I'm really excited for this. Also, he's wearing Gran Torino's cape, it looks like. I'm not sure, but it looks like it. Like a beat up Gran Torino cape. So read into that what you will as well. So yeah, this is huge. Deku is out on his own now. He might be a vigilante. I don't know if he's considered a vigilante, because I think he still has a professional hero's license. But I don't even think that really matters right now, since, technically the Heroes Association is kind of gone. Because Redestro hurt most of them, or killed most of them. So, is there really a Heroes Association right now? That's kind of like an interesting thing to think about. But yeah, this is huge. I'm like flabbergasted. I can't figure. I was speechless when I saw that Deku left UA High and whatnot. So yeah, a really good chapter. So my question is, what's going to happen in the future? How is Deku going to run back into the class of 1A or 2A? I guess, since now they're in their second year of school, except for Deku, because he's a dropout. But yeah, I'm speechless. I was trying to find more to say, but pretty much went over the chapter. This chapter is really cool. It sets up a lot of stuff that can come up in this new arc. I fully expect, if Deku becomes a vigilante, that all the heroes are going to hunt him down along with the villains. Kind of like what's going on in Vigilantes right now. My Hero Academia Vigilantes, which is a spin-off manga. Everybody's after that protagonist, so I feel like maybe that's where they're going with this. Also, I think it would be pretty cool if Deku ran back into Stain, because Stain did leave prison and all that. And Gentle, maybe. So yeah, there's really not much else I can really talk about in this chapter. I'm kind of still jumbling my thoughts and everything. But yeah, this is a really good start to this new arc. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed, be sure to like, favorite, comment, subscribe. And yeah. I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace out.